This is Shooting Spaces with Rich Baum and Brian Berkowitz.
Welcome to Shooting Spaces. This is Rich Baum from Sacramento, California.
Brian Berkowitz from New York. What's up, Rich?
New York. Hey, man. It's the summer. It's warm. It's actually hot as heck here. And everything's good. No, what's up with you?
No, same. It's hot as heck. Yeah. Humid, exhaust everywhere. Can't breathe. It's New York. And then the summer.
So let's go on a better topic. What are we doing today? What's going on?
We have two guests who have been on the show before, but before we introduce them, I'm going to say words from our good friends at HD Photo Hub. Provide your clients with the convenience of online ordering and scheduling with HD Photo Hub's new smart scheduling system built specifically for real estate photography businesses. With HD Photo Hub, you'll save precious admin time with an all-in-one system to deliver your images, videos, 3D scans, and property marketing kits, along with built-in client invoicing, order management, photographer payroll, and so much more. Check out hdphotohub.com to find out more. Again, hdphotohub.com. And let's get to it because we got a lot to discuss and it's always fun chat. We have two guests who have both been with us before, but they are going to be the co-hosts of the PMRE conference this year. So Bethany and Kris, welcome to the show again. What's going on?
Hello.
So for listeners who have not heard your previous episodes, why don't you each tell us a little bit about yourselves and your businesses, where you all hail from, and then we can start talking about the conference.
B, why don't you go first?
Okay. My name is Bethany Diedrich, and I run a company called Highland Visual based in Iowa, East Central Iowa on the Mississippi River. And I've been in business for about two and a half years full time. I got my start pretty much at the beginning of the pandemic, as far as real estate is concerned. I have a background in wedding videography, but decided to make a push into more real estate work around that 2020, March 2020 time. And it was a really great time for me to jump into it just by happenstance. I ended up in a great group of people that happened to take a real estate cinematography course called The Art of Real Estate Cinematography. I met a bunch of wonderful people, including Kris here. And Kris and I started working together pretty exclusively around that time. We've been working together for the past 2 years. I edit all of her real estate videos. And I also am a full service photographer, media, real estate, everything person myself, I guess you could say professional. And I've just expanded from there. So I kind of do a little bit of everything, but that's where Kris and I first connected, was back in March. Is that
how you got started in this industry? Just through that course, the video course?
Kind of, sort of. I had done some real estate videos here and there over the last, or between 2016 and 2020, I did probably a handful with people, but nothing like now. It was very, very different. I didn't even know really how to operate a camera properly in manual mode. I was auto everything. I think we touched on in my episode that my first video was recorded with a DJI Osmo. So that's it just goes to show the limits that I had with what I was doing. But other than that, yes.
Do you still have that video? And why haven't I seen it?
I'll send it to you. I don't think I want to make it public. I could. I don't know if I really want to, but no. I should, because it really just, it shows, where we come from. I know, Brian, I've seen your posts recently that you've done your memories from.
Well, yeah, they showed up in my feed and I shared them. My first interior shots ever. And exteriors. The exteriors were even worse. Oh my gosh. Lucy's restaurant. So they were, I don't know if they're still around even. They were a chain of Indian restaurants here in New York City. And a friend of mine subbed me out to shoot I think 4 or 5 of the restaurants, and I shot them all HDR with Photomatics. And
mighty fine stuff, by the way. I've seen them.
Yeah, and if anyone has ever seen like real Indian restaurants with authentic Indian decor, like it's very colorful and there's a lot of
dark.
Dark and colorful. which is perfect for photomatics. So yeah, I mean, I didn't even know to make your verticals vertical at that point. And, we delivered them to the client and he had me back for 4 more stores. So
They had a beautiful glow about them. I remember that.
they had something about them. I mean, I think glow is, being nice, you being nice to me, but
Accept it. Yeah.
exactly.
Accept
Yeah,
it.
no.
Yeah.
I started with HDR too. I thought HDR, I still have friends give me a hard time. I was telling people HDR is a second coming of Jesus, man. It's the best thing ever done. And it's the best. Oh my God, it's so incredible. And look at the colors. My God, it's fantastic. And then I learned what I didn't know.
Well, that's the thing I got. And sorry, Kris, we're going to get to you. We're going off on a
it's
sidetrack.
good.
I got hooked to HDR with Trey Ratcliffe, if you guys remember him, from about
Very
10,
well,
15
yeah.
years ago, where he started he was the big promoter of Photomatics, I think, when it first started, and pushing all this fine art.
I was rep by them. I
remember
put on
for a while.
HDR workshops. What the hell's that? Yeah.
And
stuck in customs.
Stuck in
Trey
customs.
Radcliffe.
Exactly. Yeah. And he used to push all these the software and presets and all this stuff for HDR. And his work was actually really good. And then I think just the whole movement just got way out of hand. And
Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
I'm responsible. Okay. Well, that's great. Now, Kris, a lot of people out there that are in our business have never met all the other people. And there's so many people out there and so many groups. You feel like you know people, but I actually know you guys pretty well. I've probably met you, Kris, 4 or 5 times. And Bethany, we spent time together making my course. So it's been great for me. So I know all about you, Kris Kohl. Why don't you tell everybody else about you? Just a little elevator pitch.
Well, my name is Kris Kohl, and I have a commercial photography degree from the Art Institute of Seattle. And like most photographers, I started shooting portraits at the ripe age of 17, and kind of went down that path and went down the wedding path. And my husband and I, he was in the military, and we were transitioning home from living overseas. And I came home, and I just got a job. That's all we just needed income. And so I started shooting. I had a job at a doctor's office, and then I started shooting again. I started shooting portraits again. But when we transitioned to buy a house here, I met with the current brokerage that I am with now, and they were looking for an in-house photographer and someone with a little bit of training. So my education definitely came in hand when it came to getting that job. And I am still there. I love where I'm at. I have like 75 realtors. We do 25 to 35% of the business locally. I shoot video, I fly drone, shoot photos. And then I'm also independent on the side. And so I shoot interiors and for builders and a few things like that too. So I'm a busy gal.
But do you shoot babies? Do you ever shoot babies?
Not anymore.
Private joke. Kris, you were super though. Maybe about 2 years ago, you were so crazy busy. Has it with your firm? Has it evened out? Have you found your mojo? You're still there, so I assume it's being copacetic. So what's that like?
I think because I'm such a control freak and I have a problem letting go, I just decided that I was a butt in a chair and I'm not making money as a butt in a chair. So I found people who are really good at what they do, and I hired them on the side. So Bethany edits all my videos because I wanted someone within the United States that I could have a conversation with, who understood my aesthetic. And when I had a problem, I could get a hold of them, and we didn't have that communication gap. So I started working with Bethany, and then I do have an editor overseas as well as locally for photos, depending on what I'm doing. I will edit myself, but I'm going too hard. I mean, it's just me doing all the things. So that's where I find that I have the best help is on the back end.
So outsourcing was your saving grace?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I can have a life now.
Yeah, I mean, if we've talked about this many times, if you're a volume shooter, you almost need to, or else you can't last more than 2, 3, 4 years in this business, or your body's just going to break down and fail. So
Absolutely.
and I mean, what's that?
That's really where Kris actually is the reason why I feel like, and I'm gonna brag on Kris a little bit right now. She may not like it. She may yell at me later, but Kris is the reason why I am pretty much where I'm at today with my own real estate business. Stop it. You can't shake your head at me. No. When Kris and I first started working together, I shot 0 real estate photography, nothing. I was purely video, which is kind of backwards because most people start in photography. And then if they want to get into video, they move into video. I did it backwards. So I was video first, video centric. And I learned, I didn't really have any interest in photography. So Kris is like, you know what, you're leaving money on the table. You really are. You know, if you're going to expand and do this business, if you're going to go full time, if you're going to expand, you really need to start shooting photos. And I felt completely out of my element, even though I had done some, training and YouTube videos, and I was kind of lost. And Kris just gave me a few simple tips were very practical. And even when it came to outsourcing, I still to this day am really a Photoshop noob. And I'm fully admitting it on the Shooting Spaces podcast. I barely know how to use Photoshop still to this day. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not ashamed.
But you're a Pmre whiz, so that's all that matters.
Pmre, okay, yeah. So, anyway, go ahead.
It's all good. And so she's like, you know what? Just shoot. Do your brackets, do your flash where you need to. Here's this is what I would recommend. And so I just hit the ground running. And I started outsourcing right away. And I actually have been working with the same editor for about 2 years, photo editor who I've developed a really great relationship with. And it's worked really, really well for me. And that's allowed me to expand and continue to provide pretty much a full array of services now, just like so many in our industry, whether it's photo, video, 3D and drone and floor plans and all of it. So I really do have Kris to thank for that extra push. I do say she pushed me off the cliff. Like, I wouldn't say kicked me off the cliff, more like nudged, and then I was kind of the fledgling and I jumped. But yeah, she and I have had a really great partnership over the last couple of years. And that's really, really helped me personally to grow. So we've grown together.
We both know I'm not subtle. I kicked her. I said, this is what you need to be doing. So, it's good. Just like, you get to a spot where you don't know what you don't know, I mean, like I was starting out into real estate and I had my laurels to kind of rest on. And then I did my first workshop with Rich and Mark, and that kind of catapulted me to another level. And then, I went to another workshop, and I just am such an advocate of education because it's just something that no one can take away from you. And your eye is always evolving. And so if you can get behind a camera with someone who sees differently, it kind of helps to fine tune your art.
Yeah, but what you just said, you don't know what you don't know. And that is something that I preach and I urge people, education isn't as sexy as going out and buying a new lens or some camera, tripod, whatever. But it's something that you can't take it away from you, and it ain't going to break, it's not going to be replaced. Well, it's an evolving thing. But yeah, the educational aspect of it is tremendous. And I remember going to my first workshop with Scott Hargis. That stuff I still use till today. And it's stuff offspring of what I teach. And it's just incredible. And but I'm so proud of both of you, not you, Brian, Kris and Bethany. not as proud as I am. Well, you know what? I'm always proud of you because you're a new daddy, a new little girl daddy. Did you know that, girls? He just had a baby.
Mm-hmm. Did.
Yeah.
That's old Missouri.
And one thing I wanted to say too is, you know, you're mentioning there's so many people talking about, and everything is about outsourcing. And I think outsourcing is great. I do believe that you should not outsource because you can't do it yourself, because you don't know how to do it, because it's imperative to me to know how to edit, to know how to shoot, because they go together. But as last week, Sunday through Thursday, I worked 18 hours a day. I worked more in some days, and I did 2 double twilights. And I didn't know how I could possibly do it without outsourcing more than a week. So I'm for it, and I think it's great. But boy, it's a whole nother podcast to be a real pain in the ass to try and find someone you can talk to, as you had mentioned, someone that gets you, and someone that's consistent, and things like that. So it's not as clean and easy as it seems, No.
But I do think, and I'm going to put the pressure on you, Bethany. But I do think that you need to know how to edit, and you need to learn how to do Photoshop, because you can't run your entire business relying on somebody else. I saw a post the other day, I forgot which group it was, where somebody said their normal editor wasn't responding to them, and they had deadlines, and they had to get photos to an agent. And what were they going to do? I'm like, so you get to a computer and edit it yourself. It sucks, but you got to do it. And if you're a business owner and you don't know how to run every aspect of your business, then you're not doing your business a proper service, because when you're relying on other people for your business, like what happened, if someone falls out of place, you have to be able to step up, and all right, you sleep 2 hours less that night, but you have to get the job done. So Bethany, by the end of the year, you need to be a Photoshop whiz also. Get on it.
All right. You got
I'm
it.
going to quiz you at PFRE or PMRE. I can't get over that. I can't. Okay, iGuide, the great people over at iGuide. I just started using iGuide. It's great and really, really cool stuff. So are you looking to expand your real estate photography business? Are you? Yes, you are. Stand out from the crowd by offering 3D accurate room measurements, 3D tours, accurate room measurements, square footage calculations, and professionally drafted floor plans, all from a click of a button. And with the state-of-the-art iGuide camera system, it's really cool. The PlanX system is really, really cool. Get your first 5 iGuides, your standard iGuides, up to 3,000 square feet, free by adding the code Shooting Spaces in the referral section at camera purchase. So that's visit goiguide.com to learn more. Remember, it's goiguide.com. And with that said, what is going on, Kris and Bethany, coming up in November? Why don't you, whoever wants to take the reins, so maybe Kris, take the reins and let us hear what you're involved in, because I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we are really excited. Brandon Cooper, who runs PMRE, asked Bethany and I to co-host the conference this year, and we're super, super, super excited about it. I think we're the first women to be able to do that, and definitely the first double co-host. So, like I said, we're excited. That's happening in November. Is it the 7th and the 8th?
9th and 10th.
9th and 10th. I'm sorry. I'm taking the workshop the 7th and the 8th with Wayne and Tony and Fraser. So I will be down there that Sunday, but sounds like it's going to be a great time. We have lots of really great speakers. There's 5 workshops that are going on pre-conference if you guys want to get on those. Yeah, I don't know. I've been for 4 years. I mean, even in the pandemic, I did the virtual, and it's still such a helpful thing. If anything, it's the only place you can go and meet with people who do the same thing that you do and struggle with the same struggles you struggle with, and make those connections. So if you have questions later, you can always refer back to that little tribe of people that you meet at PMRE. It's really a fabulous thing.
Now, I do want to say, explain, one of you, explain, because I can explain it, but explain what is PMRE. I've heard of PFRE, but what's the background of PMRE, so people will know?
So that's photography for media plus Yeah, photography plus media for real estate. See, I almost goofed that up. I got really, really close there, but photography plus media. So it's about expanding. Obviously, so many of us are expanding beyond simply just photography. This is about an evolution into what is going to be keeping up with our clients, with the industry, and what is going to be the most beneficial for getting homes sold. And so that was just kind of a gradual progression. It was going to happen. So we have a new name. It doesn't change anything. It's still the same as what we've had before. It's just our trajectory is continuing to go north. So
moving into the future.
We're moving into the future. Exactly. Is what it's all about. So, and we were really excited because we kind of broke a record. I should say the conference broke a record for early bird tickets. The 75 early bird tickets sold out in 36 minutes. So, and actually all but I believe 10 of those tickets were sold out in the first 25 minutes. So those last few stragglers, we're kind of trying to figure out. And in fact, we were
37-minute stragglers.
7-minute strike. Yeah. When we were I was kind of keeping tabs. I was refreshing, and Chris and Brandon and I were chatting. We're just like, oh, it's so exciting! Look, they're almost gone. And we even saw in some of the groups, or one of the groups, someone had said, yeah, I think I was the last person to get it. Like, just the excitement around it is really, really intense. And still, even now, the workshops have been selling. Some of the have been selling rather quickly. There's just a lot of interest in the conference this year, especially. And Chris and I did some promotion for it. We got some members of the community involved to do their own promotional videos. That was quite an interesting task.
I was going to mention your videos that you had going on.
Mine actually came to fruition because I was shooting when tickets went on sale, and I'm going, crap. I have to sign up for my workshops. I have to sign up. And I'm trying to excuse myself out of the door to go get my drone, but get my spot, it was fun.
Yeah. We heard that story quite a bit. We actually heard several real life stories in the comments on the page about, like, I was trying to register, but I was on a shoot, and it really was that coming to fruition. And so we were trying to convey that in the promotions that we did, and like Chris's that she did, if you happen to see them, if you haven't seen, to those in the audience listening, if you haven't seen these promotional videos that we did, if you're not a member of the PMRE conference page on Facebook, I highly recommend joining. If you're attending this year, especially, and just they were a lot of fun. We had a great time making them, and Chris's, I feel, was really reflective of exactly what that situation was. Is that you're in the middle of a shoot, you're stopping, dropping everything. In her case, she was basically shushing a realtor on a shoot that was trying to get her attention, and it's just like, nope, I got to take a minute and register for the conference. So that was really what we were trying to convey in those, and it was a lot of fun. And
I didn't even know about them, so I got to go to the PMRE Facebook group.
Yes, yeah. PMRE conference.
Now, is that
Facebook
group open to the public, or is this only if you sign up for the conference?
Correct.
Only if you've
sign up.
been to one of the conference before, or I think a new attendee.
Yes.
Gotcha. But I'll tell you, the great thing about it is it's a no-brainer to sign up early, because if you know you're going to go, you might as well sign up because you're going to save money. But once you go to this thing, you're going to come again. I didn't go last year, but I had an excuse. But I'm definitely going this year because I got my workshop. I've got to go. Now, Brian's got a commercial real estate conference workshop, and I've got mine residential real estate. Mine's on Monday. Brian's is on Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun, but just to come and hang out. I mean, I get to hang out with all my friends and meet all the people I've never met. And that was the biggest part of it. And who knows, I might even get on stage again and play music. You never know.
Well,
got some surprises happening. So.
I think this year's a little different. And I mean, Kris and Bethany, you were both there last year. I know you weren't, Rich, but there was still an awkward vibe about it last year with everyone wearing masks and half of Vegas still empty and all this. And there was still like, I guess the leftover feeling, even though kind of COVID was, for the most part, kind of behind us. There was just something still awkward. People didn't want to come out. I don't know if it was sold out last year because people felt awkward. I guess coming into a public place with 200-300 other people. But I feel like now, not that we're necessarily completely on the other side of it, but we're almost there. And I feel like there's a different vibe now. People are okay and they're comfortable, and they don't have to go in there and wear masks all day in these conference halls. So there's just a different vibe going on. People are traveling a lot more. People just want to come out now and just hang out with everybody. Let 2 years of frustration out. So.
Absolutely.
And you guys are putting on, who is hosting what is it called? The women's lunch, or you're having an event? What is that all about?
The women break off, and actually I believe the Grove is hosting it with Natalia Roberts, and Emma Peter is going to answer questions, and I assume it's going to kind of be a roundtable thing, but it's exclusively for the women who sign up for the group and for the lunch. So, and I did that one last year too, and it was really nice.
Yeah, it's always been a big part, kind of sort of at the beginning, it was always in the background, but it came forth, and you and Kris and Bethany and Tacey and a lot of people, a lot of women really pushed to get more inclusivity. And I think it's great. And must look like it's come not full circle by any means, but or full extent, but it definitely has been pushing it in a direction. So I commend everybody. I think it's been really a great step for the business, the community.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think as women, I think we're a little bit more reserved. And so just finding those of us. You
and Tacey reserved. Wait, you three reserved? I never thought about that.
Okay. Well, I don't think that we're beating down any doors to voice opinions. We definitely have them and we express them, but usually it's when we're asked rather than just out and about, like, this is what we think. So it's been nice to find other women to really connect with, because sometimes it's hard for us to ask the guys. They get
no pun intended.
It's just to ask the guys. Not you guys, but some of the big dogs. It gets intimidating. So
it is intimidating asking questions of Rich with his big YouTube following, and
his ego's huge.
What's that?
I know his ego's huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope I don't think it's as big as it appears, but I'm still full of myself. So
yeah, we got to can that line. I don't think it's as big as it appears. We'll save that for later, Bethany.
Listen, anybody who can get up at the first annual PFRE conference and break out their harmonica that they brought with them at the party.
That just happens to be in their pocket. Yeah.
Just happens to be in my pocket.
And the band didn't know I was going to play. Nobody knew I was going to play. And I didn't know what song I was going to play, but that's just me. That's just me. And we're going to have something real special, I think. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors. I've heard rumors.
You couldn't hear rumors. No, nobody knows yet. Okay, anyway. But it's, what? It is so much fun, though. And there's other things, too. There are parties. There are, the mixer in itself. And this year you get to invite you can invite your family, or not your family. You don't want your kids at the mixer, but in Vegas. But you can invite your other half, and there's tickets for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. The workshops, Vegas in itself. And I'm really excited about it. And now that I'm totally committed to going, I'm really excited about it. So, and are you going to get down, Kris? Are you going to get down on what day is your workshop? Which workshop are you taking?
I'm taking the 2-day with the 2-day master, I think, Mastering Luxury Real Estate. Yeah, with
three.
Wayne Capelli and Tony Colangelo and Fraser. I don't ever know how to say his last name properly. So
Almeida.
Alameda. I'm sorry,
Almeida,
Fraser.
Brian?
I tried.
Yeah, we botched it. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
bud. But
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that because we're actually going to shoot. So it'll be nice to come home with a little bit of a different vibe for the portfolio, as long as well as learning some new things to add to the bag.
Yeah. And Bethany, are you going to the workshop also?
I haven't decided if I'm doing any workshops this year. I kind of part of me wants to give attention to just the conference itself and continuing to network. Networking is what I do. It's what's helped me get to where I am today. And that's one thing I was going to say too. If you're on the fence about attending the conference, it really, if you sign up and attend, it really is a no-brainer. It's not necessarily just about obviously we have some amazing presenters this year, and a lot of variety in the presenters we have. They're not all just focused on one specific thing. They're kind of in all facets, marketing and growing your team and addressing a lot of things that we may not face at this particular moment, but we may face in the future as business owners. But one thing I will say is that being able to network and meet people that, like Kris said earlier, have similar, maybe similar goals, that you can learn from each other. You can maybe even end up having opportunities that you never thought you would have had before, just by networking with people and you click with certain people and you hang out, and it's just you lose track of time in Vegas. I will say that. Rich, what was that?
We do cocktails and partying with
they pump some extra oxygen, I think, in the South Point Casino. I feel like I lost complete track of time and I had more energy.
No, I wanted to do, I haven't even run this by Brian. I have a habit of doing this. I'm going to start a new thing. I wanted to just ask all the guests now that come on the podcast. I want to just ask you too. What is something new that you bought that you really like? Forget about the education aspect, but a real fun piece of gear. Kris, what is something you bought in the last year that you just love and you can't now feel like you can't do without?
I'm super lame. I haven't really bought anything major with the exception of the new Sony A7S III. I guess it's not really new, but I finally was able to snag one, and I can't say that I'm in love with it yet. There's some snags that I'm working through, but it's really nice to do 4K at 60 rather than 4K at 30 on the A7S III. Or A7 III. So that
I would like to be able to do a 4K at 65. So anyway, so you're not a Sony person though, right?
No, I don't shoot anything.
So that might be part of it. Is Sony the menu system on Sony sucks. So maybe the new camera's better. Yeah.
I totally don't like Sony's menu. Okay. I know you're not Nikon. You were, but I mean I'm still Nikon for all my
that's
stills.
right. Yeah. I knew that. Yeah. Okay. And Bethany, what's something you got that you just love? Anything photography related?
MacBook Pro.
I was about to say, I'm like, the only thing I could think of is that I went on with Mac. I pretty much went full Apple after being a desktop girl. I still am a desktop girl. This is still a desktop right behind me here in my office. But
you mean the one that didn't work and you couldn't get on Zoom, so you had to take out the MacBook Pro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to clarify
about that. So no, I haven't used my desktop in weeks because I needed the portability for one. And I like the MacBook Pro. Yes, it's not really photography related, but it is what I need in order to get my work done.
It is definitely photography related. Absolutely.
It is. Yes. Yeah. So I would say it has had the biggest impact on my wallet in the past 6 months. I will say that for sure.
What did you spend? If we can ask, what did you drop on it?
Oh,
5?
No, not
But you
quite.
know what?
Just short,
you're
just shy.
you're a professional video editor, so that really tacks on some big bucks.
It does, and honestly, it is. The render time is much lower. I am still using Premiere. I'll get a lot of hate for that because a lot of people are on Final Cut. But even though Premiere would crash all the time,
I'll convert you over this year.
You and about 3 or 4 other people right now. I'll get there. I promise.
Even I have Final Cut Pro. I don't use it, but I got it. I still use iMovie.
Yeah, I will say it was fun. Editing at Kris's house. Kris and I actually spent some time together a couple weeks ago. I flew out to Washington just on a random. I had a job come up. I actually had a company reach out to me. They needed an iGuide used for 2 retail stores out in Washington, and they reached out to me to do it. And it just so happened that one of those stores was in the same town that Kris lives in.
Wow.
So they flew me out and I did the 2 stores, and Kris and I spent the rest of the week together. And it was really fascinating, just like sitting there and editing, and Kris sitting there next to me while I was editing. Like I went to her office, and it was kind of a surreal. I kept telling her the whole time, I feel like I've been here before, because Kris and I edit about 150 or so videos, give or take, every year together, and they're all around the area that she lives in the Tri-Cities area of Washington. And it's this beautiful high desert area with mountains. And when I flew in to Spokane, I did a store there, and then I drove 2 hours to where she lived. And as I was driving into town, I told her, I'm like, I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience, because I feel like I've been here, because I see it in every video and all the scenery she shoots and everything. So, and so we got to spend a couple days together, which was really, really awesome. And we got to record our promos. And actually, I know, Rich, you haven't seen this, but Kris and I had we had a bit on Zoom where we're actually like talking on Zoom, and we were both in Kris's house. We just were in different rooms. So that was pretty interesting, because we were actually in the same spot. But we got to spend some time together on doing some design. Kris is an excellent teacher, and we got to spend some time, I got to see her do some of the stuff she loves to do best, and she's amazing at it. And I learned a lot. It was a really great week we got to spend. It was a really nice coincidence that came together. So good for morale. It was a great morale boost for the conference. So
nice. What do you guys have planned for the conference? A little comedy, a little.
Brian, I think you call it shtick, right?
Shtick, yeah. You have a little shtick.
We haven't quite nailed down the shtick yet, or the script, but I mean, I think it's a work in progress. I think we're going to be meeting with someone to nail down our message, and we will go from there.
I have faith that you guys will figure out the flow of it and never be at loss for words, I think, and have a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I think they picked 2 of the best, so looking forward to it.
Definitely big shoes between Vince and Mike. I'm not quite sure why we were asked, but we are certainly happy that we are going to be on stage this year.
No, it's going to be exciting. All right. So for those who have not yet registered, I don't know what you're waiting for, but November 9th and 10th in Las Vegas, PMRE-conference.com. I'm pretty sure is the URL, right? PMRE-conference.com. Go and register. Hopefully you're not sold out by the time this airs and you can get in. But and that's it. See.
How many people are there? Is it 300? Wasn't it like 300?
I think it's just a little over.
Yeah, something like that. 350. I don't know. But
the venue's amazing. I mean, it's nightclub-esque.
Yeah,
it's really great.
It's funny. It's kind of a weird venue. The first time I walked in 2019, I was like, this is going to be interesting, because it's almost like a theater. But it's a theater with like tables and booths, because I guess it's a Vegas theater. But it actually for this event, it is a perfect venue. So
absolutely,
it's exciting.
Yeah.
And South Point's fun. It's a small little casino. It's not on the beaten path, so you can kind of go into town if you want to party, or you can just kind of lay low if you want to lay low. So it's a nice vibe there.
And it's nice because there's always regardless of what you end up doing, there's always a group of people doing something fun, going to eat somewhere new. I mean, I had hot pot, I think, for the first time when I went last year. So I don't know.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a restaurant?
It's like
it's a Chinese, it's an Asian
Vietnamese
soup dish.
Asian cuisine. You cook your food and
we botched it, Bethany. We botched it. It's something we're gonna get hate mail, but it's like pho or something. I don't. Anyway,
I'll cut it. I'll cut it out.
All right, I'm gonna hit that up when I'm in Vegas in November.
It's literally across the street from South Point.
No.
That's where we went.
Cool. So PMRE-conference.com. You can see Kris and Bethany there, along with a wonderful roster of people. And we got some workshops too. Rich and I have the workshop we spoke about before.
Super excited. My workshop's on Monday, and I guarantee it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a great way to hang out.
You might not learn anything, but you're going to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Where's your workshop at? Where's your workshop at? What are you doing?
I'll let you know when we have a house. It's actually too early to find a house. I'm going to probably be working with Fraser, who lives in Vegas, to help me find a location. But it will be in a residential location, and it's going to be a good one. And it's going to be broken up into sections. I have a special guest to join me to help teach, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But it's going to be really great education, and it's going to be something, especially if you want to start really learning how to use lights. So many people now are just outsourcing doing HDR, but you don't know what you don't know. And once you realize what lights can do, right, the right people, lighting makes all the difference in the world. So it's going to be a big hands-on thing. And there's nothing like a hands-on workshop, right, Kris? You've been to hands-on workshops, and
absolutely,
really, really great. Yeah. So. And Brian, you're doing what? You're doing the commercial
real estate photography. Don't have a place yet.
Where are you going to have it? You're going to have a nice, some commercial location.
Yeah. I don't know. Fraser's the man, by the way. I don't know if everyone knows Fraser.
Yeah. Fraser is the man.
He is going in public and playing guitar online. And he's been playing for like 6 weeks. The guy's got balls. Excuse my language. The guy's got huevos. But he is playing in public, and I'm just like totally floored because I'm a musician, and he's doing great. So anyway,
he's
kudos
awesome. I had a shoot, must be almost a year ago, maybe a little less at this point, in Las Vegas, at the whatever it's called, the Crystal Place Mall in Vegas, one of the big high-end malls, and my flight landed at like 12:30 in the morning, and Fraser came in and insisted on picking me up from the airport at 12:30 in the morning. He wouldn't let me take an Uber. I'm like, it's 12:30, dude, get some sleep. I'll try to catch up with you tomorrow before I head out. He's like, no, I'm going to pick you up. And at 12:30 in the morning, he picked me up from the airport, took me to my hotel. I had to buy him a drink at that point because I felt bad. So I didn't get to sleep till like 3. My shoot was at 6, and then right back on the plane. But he's the man.
He is quite the host for sure. Yeah. I know that
he's not a salsa dance too. I told him he needs to take us out salsa dancing one night.
You don't want
I'm thinking there needs to be a live band at this party, and he needs to take us all for a spin around the dance floor. I'm expecting it.
All right.
Well, regardless of whether there's a live band or not, he can give everybody dance lessons.
Sure. So
I'd pay to go see that. I'd go to see that. I'd go to PMRE just to see you dance. Okay.
Coincidentally, one of the spots he sent me for my workshop was a dance studio. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet, but looking at a couple different options. But ultimately, want to try to nail down a office space or a retail space. That's my ultimate goal. But if not, we'll settle for something else.
Got any pull with Rolex or Gucci
no.
or perhaps Pandora?
I don't think they're going to give me their store to shoot in. No. So they make in the 3 or 4 hours that we're going to be there, I can't even pay them close to what they would make if they had to shut the store down for me. So I don't think that's happening. But
okay,
wishful thinking.
You got me excited now. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
All right. So before we close it out, I'm going to say a final word from PhotoUp. Tired of spending money to dial in an editing team? PhotoUp is now offering $100 of free editing to Shooting Spaces listeners. You can choose to work with their team of trained editors starting at just $1 per image, or choose to work directly with a dedicated editor to have them learn your specific style. Don't need editing help? PhotoUp also provides virtual staging, property websites, photo delivery, and virtual assistant services starting under $7 an hour. Head over to photoup.net/shooting spaces or click the PhotoUp link on our website to redeem your free $100 credit. Make PhotoUp your editing partner so you can spend less time editing photos and more time shooting spaces. And with that, Kris and Bethany, thank you again for coming on. It's always fun. And I can't wait to see you guys. We're 6 months away now, something like that. Or 5 months, probably 5 months away by the time this gets to air. So
Yep.
We're right around the corner.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having us on.
Definitely.
Pleasure.
We're excited.
Cool. Rich, any final words for our good friends?
Well, Shooting Spaces, we got all this stuff on our website, shootingspaces.net, and we have webinars, we have presets, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got our courses. Brian has my course is 7 hours, yours is something like 5 or 6 hours.
No, 3.5.
Yours is 3.5. Okay.
Yeah, short to the point.
Quite a bit of information. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So we got that, and we've got Ask the Guys, a 90-second. Just go on our website and you can record a question for the guys, which would be us, or we'll have guests answer it that know what they're talking about. And, we got our courses and everything like that. So, it's a lot of fun, a lot of really good educational stuff. And that's what you and I are about, teaching and helping. We're doers, helpers, okay? So with that said, go out and have some fun. Hopefully we'll see you at PMRE. And just go out and shoot some spaces.
This has been Shooting Spaces. For more episodes, visit shootingspacespodcast.com and visit our education site at shootingspaces.net.